Ladies and gentlemen, we all love the idea of success. We love how it looks. We love how it feels, at least, how we imagine it must feel, the accolades, the freedom, the validation. It's beautiful, it's inspiring, it's desirable. But what we don't often talk about, what very few are willing to confront, is the procedure that leads to it. And I want to be really clear about this. Success is not a comfortable procedure. And if you're chasing it with comfort in mind, you're not chasing success. You're chasing ease. And those two are not the same. Let me explain. The biology of discomfort, let's look at this biologically. We are wired for survival, not for greatness. Our brains are designed to avoid discomfort, to keep us safe, to keep us warm, to keep us fed, to conserve energy. But success, real success, demands the exact opposite. It demands that we lean into discomfort, that we embrace risk, that we move toward what's hard. This is where growth happens. Growth never happens in the comfort zone. Comfort reinforces who we are. Discomfort introduces us to who we could become. A pattern among the successful: look at anyone who's done something extraordinary in business, sports, the arts, and you'll find a common thread. They learn to tolerate pain better than most. Steve Jobs didn't build Apple from a place of ease. He got fired from his own company. He came back not because it was easy, but because he believed in the mission more than he feared the discomfort. Serena Williams didn't become a world champion because she trained when she felt like it. She trained when she was tired, when she was sore, when she had nothing left, because she knew something. Success lives in the uncomfortable hours. Leaders and the unseen cost. I talk to a lot of leaders. Executives, entrepreneurs, young people with big dreams, and I always ask them this: are you prepared to be uncomfortable? Because leadership, success, fulfillment, they all come with a price tag. And the currency is discomfort, the long nights, the hard conversations, the failures, the criticism, the rejection, the self-doubt, the feeling of being completely alone on the path. But here's the twist. If you can endure that pain, not just tolerate it, but embrace it, you earn something that most people will never touch: the integrity that comes from earning your success. Comfort is a sedative. Comfort feels good, but it numbs us. It numbs our ambition. It numbs our urgency. It numbs our potential. People think they're stuck in life because they don't have resources. No, they're stuck because they are addicted to comfort. They'd rather be mildly unhappy than profoundly challenged. But that challenge is the gateway. The process that feels uncomfortable now is shaping the character you need to carry the success you say you want. A final thought: you don't have to do hard things. You don't have to wake up early. You don't have to take risks. You don't have to work through failure or keep showing up when the results don't come right away. But if you don't, someone else will, and they'll earn the rewards that come from that procedure. Not because they're smarter, not because they're luckier, but because they were willing to be uncomfortable when you weren't. So the next time you feel like quitting because it's hard, I want you to remember something. Success is not a comfortable procedure, but it is always worth it. Thank you. We live in a world that glorifies outcomes. We celebrate the moments when someone crosses the finish line, holds the trophy, rings the bell at the stock exchange. We talk about success as if it's a moment, a highlight captured perfectly in time. But success is not a snapshot. It is a process, and more importantly, it is a very uncomfortable one. The illusion we buy into is that success feels good. We think it's about freedom, luxury, and peace of mind. But that's the result, not the road. And if you only look at the destination, without understanding the cost of the journey, you'll give up the moment it gets hard. Why? Because you assumed it wasn't supposed to feel this way. We rarely talk about the fact that success demands more than just effort. It demands pain. It demands sacrifice. It demands conflict with your comfort. The moment you step onto the path of becoming someone you've never been, everything in your system resists it. Your brain tells you to stop. Your body says you're tired. Your friends wonder why you're working so hard. And if you haven't made peace with the discomfort, you'll sabotage your own climb. What's dangerous is that our culture tends to equate ease with correctness. If something feels good, we think it must be right. If something feels hard, we think it must be wrong. But the truth is often the opposite. If it's hard, if it's uncomfortable, If it's making you stretch beyond what you've known, you're probably exactly where you're supposed to be. Comfort is seductive. It tells you to slow down, to play it safe, to stay where it's warm and predictable. But nothing extraordinary was ever born in comfort. Greatness comes from pressure. It comes from endurance. It comes from the willingness to keep showing up when every part of you wants to quit. So the question isn't whether you want success. Most people do. The real question is, are you willing to go through what success requires? Are you willing to be misunderstood? Are you willing to be exhausted, to fail repeatedly, to invest your time, your money, your heart, knowing full well that you may not see immediate results? That's where the battle is. Not in the vision, but in the procedure. Not in the dream, but in the discipline. Success is not a comfortable procedure, but once you stop expecting it to be, you finally free yourself to pursue it for real. You stop resisting the pain and start respecting the process. That shift changes everything, because now, when it gets hard, and it will, you're not surprised. You're prepared. We are biologically designed for safety, not greatness. That might be a difficult truth to accept, but it's essential if we want to understand the real obstacle to success. Your brain's number one job is not to make you extraordinary, it's to keep you alive. That means it favors patterns, repetition, and predictability. It favors familiarity. In short, it favors comfort. Now imagine what happens when you set a goal that requires you to become more than you are today. A goal that demands you wake up earlier, work harder, risk more, and endure longer than you're used to. Your brain doesn't see that as noble, it sees it as dangerous, and so it pushes back. You feel resistance, anxiety, doubt, fatigue, procrastination. That's not because you're lazy or weak. It's because you're stepping outside of the zone your biology wants you to stay in. But here's the breakthrough. Everything you want is outside that zone. Every dream, every breakthrough, every transformation, they all live just beyond the borders of your current comfort. The discomfort you feel when you're growing is not a sign that you're doing something wrong. It's a sign that you're doing something important. We've been conditioned to believe that discomfort is a warning to stop, but it's actually an invitation to expand. Think about it. Every major milestone in your life, learning to walk, learning to ride a bike, speaking in public, starting your first job, came with some level of fear and discomfort. But you pushed through it, and on the other side, you became someone new. Success is no different. It's a biological contradiction. It asks you to go against the very instincts that want to keep you still. That's why so few people achieve it, not because they lack talent or drive or opportunity, but because they haven't learned to live with discomfort. This is why mindset matters. If you associate discomfort with danger, you'll back off the moment things get tough. But if you reframe it, if you see discomfort as a signal that you're on the edge of something meaningful, you can begin to use it. You can start to pursue it. Growth happens when you do the thing you don't want to do. When you show up even when it's hard. When you push past what's easy and choose what's necessary. That's when your biology begins to adapt. You build grit. You build resilience. You train your mind to stop running from difficulty and start respecting it. So the next time you feel that tug to back away, to play small, to go back to what's easy, I want you to pause and ask yourself, is this really fear? Or is it just biology doing its job? If it's biology, don't obey it. Override it, because your future isn't hiding in your comfort zone. It's waiting in the discomfort you're willing to endure. There's a powerful pattern that shows up in every person who achieves something great. It's not talent, it's not connections, it's not even luck. The real pattern is that they learn to live in discomfort better than most people ever will. They build an unusual relationship with difficulty, not by avoiding it, but by embracing it. And over time, that becomes their superpower. We like to tell stories of greatness as if they're miracles, as if someone was destined to be successful. But if you really study the lives of people who have made an impact in business, in sports, in science, in the arts, you see something else. You see discipline, repetition, rejection, pain, You see a willingness to show up over and over again, long after the excitement is gone and long before the rewards arrive. Let's take a look at someone like Steve Jobs. Most people know him as the visionary who created Apple. What many forget is that he was once fired from the very company he started, publicly, embarrassingly. Most people would have disappeared after that. But Jobs came back stronger, sharper, more grounded. Not because it was easy, but because he had learned how to endure the pain of failure and use it as fuel. Or consider someone like Serena Williams. People see her trophies, her dominance, her power, but what they don't see are the 5 a.m. practices, the days she trained through pain, the nights she went to sleep sore and exhausted, only to wake up and do it again. That's not motivation. That's discipline forged in discomfort. That's the quiet commitment to a goal, even when every part of your body says, "Not today." Success isn't about how much you love what you do when it feels good. It's about how well you perform when it doesn't, when the motivation is gone, when the results aren't coming, when the process feels brutal and the finish line is nowhere in sight. That's the test. And the ones who pass it are the ones who treat discomfort as a necessary part of the path, not as a signal to quit. There's no cheat code here. If you want to build something that matters, you're going to hurt. You're going to lose sleep. You're going to feel frustrated. And you're going to wonder more than once if it's worth it. But here's the truth. That pain you feel, that exhaustion, that uncertainty, that fire in your gut, it's the raw material of greatness. It's not what breaks you, it's what builds you. And if you can endure it, not just tolerate it, but truly live with it, you earn something that no shortcut can buy. The depth of character and strength of will that success demands. So the question isn't, how can I make this easier? The question is, can I become the kind of person who can handle this? Because that's who success belongs to. I spend a lot of time with leaders, CEO, entrepreneurs, young professionals just starting out. And there's a question I always ask them, often early in the conversation. Are you prepared to be uncomfortable? It's a simple question, but the answer reveals everything. Because leadership is not a title. It's not a position. It's a decision to take responsibility when things are uncertain, inconvenient, or even painful. And if you're not ready for discomfort, you're not ready for leadership. The truth is, there's a cost to becoming someone who leads, who creates, who dares to build something meaningful. It's not just about long hours or financial risks, although those are part of it. The real cost is deeper. It's a network error occurred. Please check your connection and try again. If this issue persists, please contact us through our help center at help.openai.com. Comfort is one of the most dangerous things we can crave when we're chasing success. It feels good in the moment, and that's the problem. It's a sedative. It numbs your urgency. It silences your hunger. And worst of all, it convinces you that you're okay staying where you are. It tells you, you've done enough. Don't push harder. Don't stretch. Don't risk. But here's the truth. Comfort is not your friend when you're trying to grow. It's the trap that keeps most people average. Let's be honest, it's easy to choose comfort. It's easy to take the job that pays enough but doesn't challenge you. It's easy to scroll for hours instead of building something that matters. It's easy to say, maybe later, instead of, let's begin now. That's what comfort offers, a life without friction. But if there's no friction, there's no transformation. Every day you have a choice, comfort or growth, and most of the time you can't have both. Growth demands discomfort. It demands you step into uncertainty. It demands you do things you've never done and become someone you've never been. And that is incredibly hard, but it's also necessary. The problem is, comfort sells. It's marketed to us every day: fast food, instant results, overnight success, passive income, life hacks. We're constantly sold the idea that we can get everything we want without the grind. But the people selling that dream aren't living it. The people who actually achieve greatness, who build real, lasting success, know something different. They know that the climb is steep, that the work is deep, that the nights are long, They know that success doesn't show up because you want it. It shows up because you earned it step by painful, disciplined, uncomfortable step. That's the reality most people run from. And that's why so many feel stuck. They're not stuck because they're not smart enough. They're not stuck because they lack opportunity. They're stuck because they're afraid to feel the discomfort that growth demands. They're addicted to ease, addicted to the illusion that comfort means happiness. But here's what's ironic. The more you chase comfort now, the more discomfort you guarantee later. Regret, missed potential, unused talent. That's the long-term price of avoiding the short-term pain of effort. If you want fulfillment, not just success, but deep, lasting purpose, it's not found in comfort. It's found in commitment. It's found in doing the hard thing consistently. In waking up and pushing forward even when your feelings say, stop. So start rewiring your response to discomfort. When it shows up, don't avoid it. Welcome it, learn from it, let it sharpen you, because that discomfort, that's the exact sign you're on the edge of growth. You're not supposed to feel ready. You're supposed to feel stretched. That's what progress feels like. That's what success requires. There's something powerful about reaching a moment where you want to quit. It doesn't feel powerful at the time, of course. In that moment, it feels like defeat. You're tired. You're discouraged. You're questioning why you ever started in the first place. But that moment right there is one of the most important moments in your journey. Because how you respond when it gets hard doesn't just reveal your strength. It defines your future. See, we tend to imagine success as a series of wins, but in reality, it's a series of decisions, most of them made in silence, most of them made when no one is watching. And the hardest decision you will make again and again is to keep going when it would be easier to stop. It's easy to stay committed when the path is smooth. It's easy to work hard when the results are coming quickly. But success rarely shows up on your timeline. Often, you'll do the work and hear nothing. No applause, no validation, no reward, just silence. That silence is what breaks most people. Not because they're not capable, but because they confuse the absence of results with the absence of progress. But that's not how it works. The seeds you plant today won't bloom overnight. They need time, they need consistency, and most of all, they need you to believe in the process when it's no longer exciting. That's what separates people who make it from those who almost die when you hit a wall, and you will don't interpret it as a sign to quit. Interpret it as a test. It's the universe, life, God, whatever you believe in, asking you one question. How badly do you want this? Not when it's easy, not when it's fun, but now when it hurts, when it's unclear, when you feel like a failure. Anyone can say they want success. That's not hard. What's hard is the discipline to stay the course when your motivation has run dry. What's hard is doing the work when the work stops giving back right away. What's hard is getting up again and again after being knocked down, embarrassed, rejected, overlooked. But if you can endure that, if you can learn to move forward when nothing in you wants to, that's when the shift happens. That's when the breakthrough comes, not before. You don't have to keep going. That's the truth. No one's forcing you. But if you stop now, someone else will keep going. Someone else will endure. And they'll get the results you were reaching for, not because they're more talented, but because they stayed in the game longer. So the next time you feel like walking away, I want you to remember this. Success is not a comfortable procedure. It's not supposed to be. It's designed to shape you. And if you're willing to be shaped, to be broken and rebuilt, success won't just reward you. It will transform you.